Have you ever felt it? That deep, relentless ache in your soul, the one that whispers you're always one step behind, perpetually chasing a horizon that seems to retreat with every stride you take? It's a feeling of running, sprinting with all your might, your lungs burning, your heart pounding, yet the finish line, that elusive state of love, success, or validation you yearn for, remains just beyond your desperate grasp. It's the paradox of modern life, the great race against your own shadow, an exhausting pursuit where the faster you run, the more the very things you desire seem to dance away from you, like mirages in a desert of endless wanting. If this feeling resonates deep within your spirit, if you've ever felt this particular sting of solitude in a world that demands constant striving, know that you are not alone. This message has found you for a reason. Let this be a sign from the universe. If you feel the truth in these words beginning to stir within you, let the energy flow by liking this video, subscribing for more guidance, and share your journey in the comments. A simple "I resonate" or 777 is a powerful declaration to the universe that you are ready to receive. You must understand a fundamental truth, a sacred law of existence that has been whispered through the ages by mystics and sages. The universe does not operate on the frantic energy of pursuit. It responds to the calm, centered frequency of alignment. What does this mean? It means that the desperate chase, the white-knuckled grip on what you think you need to be happy, is the very thing creating a repellent force field around you. It's a cosmic irony, a divine paradox. You spend your precious life force, your divine energy, sprinting towards love, believing that once you capture it, you will finally be lovable. You exhaust yourself climbing the ladder of success, convinced that reaching the top will finally make you feel worthy. You crave that one big break, that moment of validation, believing it will grant you the peace and security you so desperately seek. But this entire paradigm is built on a foundation of illusion, a deep misunderstanding of your own innate power. This energy of neediness, this vibration of "I'm not enough without it," is a signal you are constantly broadcasting out into the cosmos. It's a frequency of lack, a prayer of incompletion. And the universe, in its infinite and impartial wisdom, can only respond to the energy you emit. It hears your frequency of "I am lacking" and faithfully mirrors it back to you, giving you more experiences of lack, more reasons to chase, more evidence to support the painful belief that you are not yet whole. Think of it like this. A person who is truly wealthy doesn't spend their days frantically worrying about where their next dollar will come from. They operate from a state of abundance, a deep-seated trust that resources will flow to them. They are aligned with the frequency of wealth. Similarly, a person who is truly loved doesn't spend their energy begging for affection or seeking constant validation. They embody love, they are love, and so love naturally gravitates towards them. They are aligned with the frequency of love. The chase, therefore, is a spiritual miscalculation. It is an act of profound distrust in yourself and in the divine flow of life. It's like trying to catch the wind in a net. The more you struggle, the more it slips through your fingers. This frantic energy delays your manifestations. It clutters your auric field with the noise of anxiety and the static of fear. It's the pressure cooker of the ego, the constant, draining inner push to make it happen now. This pressure, this force, is the very dam that holds back the river of your own good. The moment of your true awakening, the point where your reality begins to shift in miraculous ways, is not when you finally catch the thing you've been chasing. It is the moment you decide to stop. It is the moment you consciously choose to let go of the obsession. This is the great surrender. It's the sacred pause where you finally allow yourself to breathe, to release the suffocating grip of control, and to lean fully into the power of the present moment. This is not an act of defeat. Oh no, it is the ultimate act of power. It is a declaration of faith. It is you telling the universe, "I trust, I am whole, right here, right now, with or without this thing. My peace is not contingent on my circumstances." In that single profound moment of release, everything changes. Your entire energetic signature shifts. You move from the chaotic, jarring frequency of neediness to the serene, coherent vibration of clarity and calm. You stop being a frantic pursuer and you begin to transform into a powerful magnet. Why? Because source energy, the very fabric of creation, does not respond to the desperate cries of the ego. It doesn't reward suffering or struggle, it responds to the quiet confidence of the soul. It harmonizes with the frequency of trust. It is drawn to the vibration of wholeness. When you stop chasing, you begin the sacred work of magnetizing. You become a beacon. Imagine a lighthouse standing tall on the shore. It doesn't chase after ships, frantically trying to guide them to safety. It simply stands in its power, anchored and unwavering, and shines its light. And by its very nature, by its calm and steady presence, it draws the ships towards it. You must become that lighthouse. You must anchor yourself in the truth of your own completeness and shine your unique light, trusting that all that is meant for you is already navigating its way to your shore. This isn't about passive waiting, it's about active being. It's about cultivating an inner state so rich, so peaceful, so fulfilling, that the external world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your new vibration. This brings us to the heart of the matter, the subtle but powerful distinction between need and desire. Most people are trapped in a vicious loop, a spiritual hamster wheel, and they don't even realize it. They want something so intensely, so badly, that their entire identity becomes entangled with the having of it. Their sense of self-worth becomes conditional. They believe, I need this relationship to feel lovable. I need this success to feel worthy. I need this breakthrough to feel safe. Their desire has mutated into a desperate need, an energetic black hole that consumes their peace. And here is the paradox laid bare. The stronger that need becomes, the louder it whispers its secret message of lack to the universe. I don't have this yet. It hums, a constant, low-grade vibration of dissatisfaction. I am not enough without it, it confesses in the quiet moments of the night. And this energy, this frequency of incompletion, actively repels the very thing it craves. It pushes your desires further away, not as a punishment, but as a direct reflection of your inner state. You've surely felt this before, haven't you? That quiet desperation simmering just beneath the surface, even when you're forcing a smile, even when you're repeating positive affirmations, even when you're trying with all your might to stay positive. There's an underlying tension, a tightness in your chest, a subtle clenching in your gut. That is the feeling of waiting for life to reward you for your suffering. It's the belief that once you've done enough, struggled enough, proven yourself enough, the universe will finally deem you worthy and grant your wish. But life doesn't respond to your effort alone. It responds to your energy, it responds to your alignment. And your energy is never more clear, never more pure, never more powerfully magnetic than when you no longer need the thing to validate you. It is when you know in every cell of your being that you are already whole. When you reach this state of divine detachment, something truly strange and wonderful begins to happen. People often call it luck, or coincidence, or a stroke of good fortune. But it is not luck. It is alignment. It is the universe meeting you at the frequency you are now embodying. Suddenly, the person who was distant texts you back not because you willed it, but because you released the needy energy that was pushing them away. The perfect opportunity lands effortlessly in your inbox, not because you hustled harder, but because you became an energetic match for it. The thing you thought was a million miles away, the dream you had almost given up on, simply shows up. It arrives with an ease and grace that feels almost magical. Why? Because you finally stopped trying to control the outcome. You let go. You stopped gripping so tightly to your rigid ideas of how it had to happen and when it had to happen. You replaced forceful striving with a profound trust that if it is truly meant for you, it will find its way to you through the path of least resistance. You have become a magnet. Not because you are chasing, but because you are still. And in that stillness, there is a power that most people completely overlook. The universe is not deaf, it's just uninterested in the frantic noise of the ego. It tunes into the clear, resonant signal of the soul. When you are chasing something with every fiber of your being, straining, overthinking, and pushing, you are generating more noise than signal. You might think you're being persistent, disciplined, and focused, but underneath all that effort, there is fear. A deep fear that if you stop, if you ease up for even a second, the whole dream will crumble. But what if that fear is the very thing blocking the door? Let this sink into your spirit. The more you try to force life, the more you are communicating a profound lack of faith that it is already on its way. You enter into a cosmic tug of war with your own future. And in that game, no one ever truly wins. This is not about laziness. This is not about giving up on your dreams. It is about surrendering the grip. It's the sacred moment you stop clenching your fists and you start opening your hands. That is where your true divine power begins. Because authentic power does not scream. It does not beg, it does not plead, it simply knows. Look around you. Who are the most magnetic people you know? They are rarely the loudest or the most desperate. They are the ones who seem certain, who carry an unshakable calm, who move through the world with a quiet confidence without needing to prove anything to anyone. Why? Because they have detached from the outcome. They still show up, they still care, they still take aligned action, but they are not performing for a result. They are aligned with the process. And when you shift from performing to aligning, you move differently, you speak differently, you attract differently. People feel it, life responds to it. The secret that nobody tells you is that there is a point where trying becomes tension, and tension is the energetic opposite of trust. Most people live their entire lives in a state of subtle, emotional bracing, constantly trying to earn what they already have access to within themselves. They over-strategize, they hustle, they chase, but deep down their energy is signaling to life, I don't believe I'm enough yet. That signal matters more than anything. Energy does not lie. When you are constantly chasing, life reflects back to you more reasons to chase. It's a feedback loop of your own creation. But when you stop, when you release that white-knuckle grip, you start to move and flow is where all the magic resides. Think of it like this. You don't pull a flower open with force. You don't scream at the sun to rise faster. You don't beg a river to flow. It just does. It happens in its own divine timing, according to its own nature. Trying too hard puts you out of sync with your own divine timing. You start running ahead of yourself, burning precious energy on outcomes that were never yours to hold in the first place. And when you're in that state of frantic doing, you miss what's actually being handed to you. You're too focused on making it happen to notice that it's already happening, just not in the way your ego expected. And that is the secret. Letting go doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing what you are called to do from a place of wholeness, without grasping for a specific outcome. It means showing up as someone who already trusts the process. It means making decisions from a place of groundedness, not from a place of panic. It means being committed, but not attached. And there is a world of difference between those two energies. Attachment says, I need this to work, or I'm not okay. Commitment says, I will show up fully, and I will be okay, no matter what. Which version of you do you think holds more power? Which one do you think the universe will respond to? The moment you stop obsessing over whether someone will text you back is often the moment they do. It's not a coincidence. It is a reflection of what happens when you shift your energy from desperation to detachment, from needing to having. There is an unspoken magnetism in not needing something. When you are whole, people feel it. Opportunities feel it. The world responds to a calm, present energy that doesn't chase. And this isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about actually building a life so fulfilling, so aligned, so rich within a peace that you stop depending on external things to feel okay. Here is the paradox that will set you free. When you are not ruled by the outcome, you start playing with reality instead of fighting against it. People can sense when you are trying to prove something. They feel the invisible pressure. But when you no longer need to convince, impress, or chase, you become a mirror. And in that mirror, others see confidence. They see peace. They see someone who has already won. That is what makes people lean in. Not your pursuit, but your presence. Trying too hard screams of lack. Letting go whispers of confidence. And this isn't just about relationships. It's about the way you walk into a job interview, the way you start a new project, the way you show up in the world without broadcasting the needy energy of, I hope this saves me. The truth is, you don't find peace by controlling everything. You find peace by becoming someone who doesn't need to. The people who are calm in the storm are not the ones with all the answers. They are the ones who have made peace with uncertainty. And when you do that, when you stop trying so hard to fix or force, the right things start showing up. Not because you chase them, but because you finally created the space for them to arrive. The funny thing is, most people don't even realize how much they are controlled by their own expectations. They wake up every day already chasing something: validation, success, closure. And yet, the more they chase, the further it seems to run. That's because chasing isn't moving forward, it's just moving frantically. It's not driven by purpose, it's driven by fear. Here is where it truly hits home. When you constantly feel like you need something, that one reply, that one opportunity, that perfect outcome, you are unknowingly telling your subconscious mind that you are not enough without it. And your subconscious listens. It will start filtering your entire world through that lens of lack. Even if something great shows up, you'll sabotage it, question it, or never feel like it's enough because you're still operating from that core belief of incompletion. But when you drop the obsession with the outcome, when you truly, deeply stop needing it, your entire energy shifts. Your body relaxes, your tone changes, your eyes soften. You stop searching the room for something to complete you because you've remembered that you are already complete. And ironically, this is the exact moment when things begin to click into place. Not because you tricked the universe, but because you stepped out of your own way. You start creating from a place of peace instead of panic. You start speaking from a place of clarity instead of neediness. And suddenly, you are magnetic without even trying. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means no longer giving your power to what you can't control. So, you shift from gripping to guiding, from force to flow. You stop demanding timelines and instead you become someone who is worth the wait, someone who doesn't need to chase because the right things now gravitate to you. This is the kind of inner shift that makes people turn their heads, not because you are louder, but because you are still. One of the most powerful things you can ever do is learn how to sit in silence without needing anything from it. Think about that for a second. No scrolling, no texting, no fixing, no checking how you're being perceived. Just presence. That rare moment when your nervous system isn't wired to achieve, but to simply exist. That is the space where things actually start to reorganize themselves. Your mind clears, your thoughts slow down, your energy stops leaking into people and places that aren't even yours to carry. We live in a time where constant motion is confused with progress, but real growth doesn't always happen in the loud moments. It happens in the quiet ones. When you're not performing for anyone, when you're not strategizing the next move, when you finally exhale and realize nothing is actually missing right now. And that's not some motivational fluff, that's literal neuroscience. Your brain and body operate differently when you're not in survival mode. When you're not consumed by needing validation or chasing outcomes, your brain stops pumping cortisol and starts rewiring itself for focus, calm, and creativity. That shift, it affects how you speak, how you respond, how you are perceived. It's not about detaching from life, it's about detaching from the illusion that life is only valuable when it goes according to your plan. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. The more tightly you grip that plan, the more exhausted you become trying to keep it alive, even when it's clearly not working anymore. But when you let go, truly let go, you don't become passive, you become aligned. You start hearing your intuition louder than the noise. You stop trying to prove yourself, and you start being yourself. People can feel that, and the world starts moving with you instead of against you. This is the paradox. You become more powerful the moment you stop trying so hard to control everything. So, ask yourself, what would happen if you stopped micromanaging your life and started trusting the version of you that doesn't need to chase anymore? That version isn't just a possibility, it's already in you. You just have to stop running long enough to hear it. Now here is what people don't talk about enough. Letting go doesn't mean abandoning your goals, it means releasing the emotional grip you've wrapped around them. Letting go means no longer tying your self-worth to the outcome. It means not panicking if something doesn't happen on your timeline, and that is what creates the space for real results to show up. See, the moment you stop needing something to happen is the same moment you start seeing more clearly what actually matters. And when you're not operating from need, you stop clinging to things that drain you. You stop accepting crumbs. You stop shrinking to fit places you've already outgrown. Because here's the truth. When you're chasing something with desperation, what you're really doing is telling your nervous system that you're lacking, that you're incomplete, that you can't be calm or whole until that thing arrives. And that energy, it leaks into everything. Your relationships, your decisions, even how you carry yourself in a room. People feel it, even if they don't know how to explain it. That overeagerness, that trying too hard energy, it repels more than it attracts. Now compare that to someone who knows they want something, but they're good either way. They're centered, they're grounded, they don't need attention to feel valid. They don't need noise to feel alive. And because they're not coming from a place of lack, people naturally want to be around them. Opportunities find them. Conversations flow. The right doors start to open. It's not magic, it's alignment, and the only thing that shifted was them. So maybe the work isn't to try harder. Maybe it's to stop attaching your peace to things you can't control, to stop making your worth conditional on what you accomplish this month, or who replies to your text, or how fast you hit a goal. Because when your inner world calms down, your outer world starts to reflect that same calm. You respond instead of react. You choose instead of chase. You attract instead of beg. It's a quieter power, but it's undeniable. At some point you realize the peace you were chasing was never out there. It was underneath all that resistance, all that forcing, all that fear. And once you finally release that grip, even just a little, life starts moving in ways it never could when you were holding on so tight. It's not about giving up. It's about loosening the pressure, letting the weight of control fall off your shoulders, and walking forward with trust, not tension. You start attracting people who feel lighter. You notice things syncing up more effortlessly, and ironically, you become more powerful by not trying so hard to be. So here's your quiet reminder: letting go isn't weakness. It's a choice, a decision to stop running in circles and start living from your center. And once you do, it all starts to align in ways that forcing never could. If this resonated with you, drop the word ease in the comments so I know you're walking that path with me. And if you're ready for more content like this, subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.